talking about your own project, you've really kind of broken up the box here with the portions of the box that are devoted to shading and such. How did you come about this design?
Well, first of all, it's a unique situation of 15 people gathering together to buy a land with somebody who managed the whole group. Each one have taken a symmetrical part of the building on top and on down. So there are 30 stories, each one taken 2 stories, one on top and one underneath, symmetrical to the middle. So it's symmetrical economical parcels. So it was an opportunity to create a very clean rectangular envelope, because all the floor plans should have been identical, except that we could make a lower floor height and smaller terraces on the lower half and higher floor height and bigger alternatives on the upper half, because each one owns symmetrically one on top and one on the lower part. So the shape first started from connected from the program of the building. And then we thought that the building should face the sea. You know that in Tel Aviv, the sea view is very, very highly appreciated, because it's a coast that we see the sunset on the west. So the view is marvelous. It's like the west coast, not like the east coast. And of course, we also put the shell asymmetrically to the east in order to enjoy more floor space on the west, which is more used and more preferred. So then we have this envelope, and then we have the building facing the west, and all the terraces are facing the west. So we have this shape. And then we have these 2 fins on the sides, which part of the architectural wish to contain the terraces inside the envelope, not sticking them out. But it also gets some wind protection, because on the high rise you may get some wind for the terraces. And then it closes with a pergola, which is a pergola shading the penthouse. So actually it's a combination of architectural design of the form and answering the functional and the functional needs of the inside.
One of the distinctive design features is you have 2 lobbies on each floor. How did that come about?
Yes, this is a nice idea, to my opinion, because it's a very premium building. And we want to have a front lobby, which will be very high level taken care of, and the back lobby for all the technical people and all the, and all the plumbers and people who are coming, and of course for the firefighting units also, for deploying and etc. And so the back lobby is very highly protected and fire protected. The front is very invested in the interior design, and actually it's the main entrance to each apartment, especially on the upper half, in which people join 2 apartments. It's joined to 1 apartment per floor. So actually it's becoming part of the apartment, like a pre-lobby of the apartment itself, and the elevators opening them. Some of the people also, and we enabled that, bought some building rights from preservation projects around in Tel Aviv, if it's possible, and use these building rights even to cancel the pre-lobby and then have the elevator opening straight into the apartments.
Tell me about the owners of the building, the clients. You said you had 15 people, 15 entities buying this piece of land.
There are 15 people. There is one who managed, Uri Chaychik, who managed all the group. He did it very well. And he, the guy who was looking for high quality, and together with him, we'll be able to create a very, let's say, high level of residential, not looking only for the most cheapest solutions. There is a saying that a project can be only as good as its client. So you need a good client to make a good, of course you need a good architect, but you need a good client also to realize your architectural ideas. So this was a very good opportunity about that.
Tell me about the rest of the open land. There's a park at the base of this. How big is it, and what did you do with the rest of the space?
It's always that it's a challenge to insert a high-rise inside the urban fabric of Tel Aviv, which is small buildings. And by leaving part of the land open and open to the public, and also open to the view of the neighbors, you give them back part of the qualities that it's better than building low and then have it very crowded. And the open space is open to the public, but in the landscape, it's divided into two parts of treatment. Half of it is with water elements, half with green elements. And we located the water elements near the building, and you go through the water elements and enter the building. And so at first you enjoy the beauty of the water, but also you make the public being a bit far from the building, so you also control the privacy of the building without any fences or limited or some rules.
To put this development in Tel Aviv, how does it match in with the rest of the city? How does it blend in?
Well, there is in Tel Aviv, let's say, a master plan, not approved yet, but we all follow it. And there are some areas of which is a white city. It's a Bauhaus buildings recognized by UNESCO, and there you cannot build high-rises. And there are some areas you can build high-rises. And we are lucky that the city engineer and the city architect are very positive to very good architectural design. So you get very good cooperation when you present a very high level of architectural design, and then you can improve it maybe easily, and then it's appreciated after that. And here we come and get a prize from you also.
Learning more about Tel Aviv, is there a practical limit? Would a building taller than this fit into Tel Aviv? What would be a good height limit?
Well, we are doing, I have to say, we have about 20 towers in Tel Aviv up now in the office. And some of them are premium residential. We have 6 premium residential towers on one line, on one street. This is one of them. And we have some mixed-use projects and some office projects. We are doing now, the tallest is about 52 stories. We have several 52 stories. It's limited by aviation limits of the airport lines. And we all working together to try to get some more height by changing maybe, or by maybe more inquiring very thoroughly into the height limitations of the airport, because you know they are in general, but when you look thoroughly into specific locations, sometimes you can get a bit higher. We know we are designing a new airport in Israel, and we, on the other side of that, in other part of Israel, in the Negev, it's a new airport, or the only new airport that's designed in Tel Aviv, in Israel now. It's on the Negev. It's on the name of Ilan Ramon, who was killed in the space shuttle.
In the Challenger.
Yeah. And so we are on the other side, and we know it. When we know, and because we know all the techniques of the limitations, sometimes we, with a thorough research, can push a few meters up in certain locations.
That's all I have, unless there are any other points you want to bring up. Are we missing anything?
I think that Remez 6 is an example of a very simple design, and the quality is in the proportions, and the quality is in the materials, and especially what was mentioning, that the envelope is a special curtain wall system that we gave the idea to Kohaonir and developed together with them a system in which you cannot see the frames of the openable window. Usually when you have a curtain wall, you have the grid, the structural grid, inside you have the frame, and inside you have the window itself. So we have 3 frames. And we came up with the idea that we split the structural profile into 2 parts, and the structure of the curtain wall is only half size, and the other half is the frame of the window. So when it's closed, it's just the same thickness as the profile underneath and above. So from the outside, you cannot see the frames of the windows. And then we used low iron in order to get rid of the green color. And we use printing of the glass in order to hide the mechanism of the shading. And all these means together, we came out with a very clean and neutral color facade. And still, we supply the people inside with the ability to open the window and close it like a normal building. And of course, it's very energy saving, because when the shading gets heated by the sun, to the inside we have the low E coating, to the outside we have the low iron, which is transparent to energy. So when it gets heated, all the energy is going out the building and not inside.